Welcome back to Talent Talk and Strategy Stroll. I'm your host, Meri Stockwell, and today we're diving into the art of transformative leadership, how to shake things up and drive meaningful change within organizations. Joining us is the dynamic Ron Garfield, an executive leadership coach and co-founder of Peak Coaching and Strategy Group. With over 25 years of senior executive experience, Ron specializes in guiding leaders through personal and professional transformations. He's leading a bold new approach, shaking shit up, helping leaders break through the status quo, serve more boldly, and create meaningful impact. Welcome back to the show, Ron. I'm excited to have you.
I am so happy to be here, Meri. Thanks. I think this is the third time that we've done this together, so I'm very humbled by the fact that I have been in all three seasons of Talent Talk and Strategy Stroll. And by the way, we talk quite a bit, and there's kind of a glow to you today. So I'm getting a sense that you're kind of shaking shit up a little bit in your own world and your own life. So great to be here. Great to be here.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm feeling really pretty good. Life is good, and I'm happy you're here. We're going to get in and tackle some questions. We're going to try and do rapid fire rounds as this new format.
Okay, let's go for it.
Ready?
I'm ready.
So you've mentioned to me that personal transformation requires embracing discomfort. How can leaders step out of their comfort zones to foster growth within their teams?
What a great question. So discomfort's a whole thing of mine. And it's really hard to embrace discomfort if you've never experienced discomfort or acknowledged discomfort. So the way that I got into this and using discomfort as a lever for transformational coaching was through my own experiences and really recognizing that when I learned how to sit in discomfort, whatever that may be, and really acknowledge it, then shifts and change began to happen. So for a leader and how they would foster growth with their teams, when I'm working with leaders, there's a couple of things that I look at as kind of prerequisite, right? When I'm having coaching conversations with leaders about perhaps being coached, there's three things that I look for: willingness, intention, and action. So, what do I mean by that? I'm very upfront with my clients about how I move through this whole thing of discomfort. So I ask them right up front, are you willing to get uncomfortable? What does discomfort look like for you? Because when we do that and we agree and align around, it just creates a great foundation for the work. And right from the start, when they're setting their intention around that, to me, that's kind of where the fun starts. But the thing that's always interesting about this is that everyone is different. No two leaders are the same. And I think that's what the secret sauce to transformational leadership coaching is: exploring where those areas of discomfort live and how they're different with everyone, right? So I encourage the leaders I coach to bring this back to their teams. Try things on for size, right? So what a great way for a leader to build trust within an organization. When a leader can come back to an organization and model what they're working on, right? So teams follow leaders. So if a leader is willing to model vulnerability, which is the number one foundation for building trust, and model that, their teams are going to see that. So that's something when I'm working with leaders that I always encourage them to do. I have a leader that I've been working with for a couple of years, and there was a great question that I asked him to go out to his team with. He's a CEO of a company, pretty conservative, stoic guy. And I said, I'd like you to go out and ask members of your team, what is it like to be on the other side of me? I got to tell you, the look that came across his face, he's like, that makes me feel really uncomfortable. And I'm like, good, let's go for it. So that, in a way, is how I think that leaders can bring that back and bring that around for their teams.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Ron. In my experience, when leaders model the vulnerability and take calculated risks, it sets a precedent for the entire organization to innovate and to adapt.
Yeah, and you mentioned something there, Meri, about risk, right? So not all leaders are wired for risk. And you and I know this from the work that we do with predictive index, right? We know instinctively based off someone's natural motivations, drives, and behaviors if they're predisposed to risk or they're risk averse. So when I say two leaders are all different, as a coach, I've got a yin and yang with that and move with them to understand where those levels of discomfort are and what levers I can pull or not.
Perfect. Perfect. So you've integrated mental fitness into your coaching. How does strength mental fitness impact a leader's effectiveness?
So I have to tell you, I did a PQ rep with you as we started this call. So I literally just focused on you, right? I was noticing your glow, right? And that connection that we had. So what that did was help me to set myself up for how I wanted to show up here. But as far as mental fitness is concerned, mental fitness is one aspect of my coaching work. So it does a couple of things that I believe are important for everybody, not just leaders. In my experience, what mental fitness really helps you to do is create the pause, right? It creates the pause. If your saboteur, whatever it may be, starts a narrative, when you're aware of that, and if you can create the pause through doing PQ reps or focusing on somebody, sometimes that's all that's needed to stop a fear-based narrative, which are the saboteurs, from running rampant and creating a narrative that might not be productive. So with PQ, it's about creating awareness and noticing, what voice really might be speaking to you, in that moment. So when I'm working with somebody, right, and they've done a saboteur assessment and I know what those saboteurs are, I'm noticing when those show up, right? I hear your judge talking right now. And a lot of times I'll get, what are you talking about? But when the judge shows up and, maybe a question from that might be, so how would you approach that from a place of discernment versus a place of judgment? And it's just those slight shifts, those powerful questions that coaches are trained to ask that is sometimes enough. And I know in the saboteur work with mental fitness, we want to reduce those negative fear-based voices, but it's not linear in how it works, right? It's an ongoing process that happens all the time in real time. So that's how I incorporated that. And then it all comes full circle that leaders go back, they model things for their organization, they model things for their team, right? They're transparent. And again, it just becomes cumulative. And it's all about creating a culture in the organization. Leaders are the most responsible person in an organization for creating the culture. So they've got to walk the walk and do the talk. Because if there's a disconnect, you know as well as I do how teams and employees will become disengaged.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, building mental resilience equips leaders today to navigate challenges with a clear mind, fostering a culture of agility and positivity. And I've experienced this myself, just like you have with your clients. And I'm doing that, with teams and organizations, and you have that impact and you're seeing that all, kind of come to fruition at the same time. And it is kind of awe-inspiring to see that change. I've seen and experienced that change myself, as I know you have, Ron. And it is pretty exciting.
Well, yeah, and I mean, let's call it out. This is a really challenging environment to be a leader in, right? It's what my coach and many call a VUCA environment, right? It's volatile, uncertain, chaotic, with lots of ambiguity. And so if you're not used to leading in that, right, you don't know how to respond to that. So it's going to trigger things inside you. So learning how to identify what's going on inside you around self-awareness can really help you to really be present and lead through all kinds of situations that every leader is facing today.
Yeah, and make people feel, or have people feel assured and comfortable with all the changes and the speed of changes and daily, minutely. So to be able to navigate through that with strong mental resilience is amazing.
Well, I'm curious in the work that you're doing with teams and things like that. Are you seeing more and more of teams looking to their leaders now, especially in this more chaotic environment, kind of leaning more either spoken or unspoken to leaders? What are you noticing in the work that you're doing?
Well, yeah, I am noticing that. And I'm also noticing that in particular with PQ work, that they're working together and they're learning
Mm,
together and they're learning to, as you would say, stand still in those moments, together. And that's what I'm seeing, some real transformation occurring.
yeah, I love that. I love that.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what it means to shake shit up. So Ron, shaking shit up is more than a tagline, right? It's a movement that you've created. What does it mean for leaders to serve boldly? And what inspired you to champion this transformation approach?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my new thing, shaking shit up. And I think every day it's evolving.
Mm,
So it first started out as an action, and
mm,
I'll explain how it started out as an action. Now it's kind of morphing into a mindset and a state of mind, and it's starting internally before it goes externally. So the origins were pretty interesting or easy. I have a coaching colleague, Ben Kiker, who we've known each other for a lot of years. And towards the end of last year, we just decided we were going to get on a call and check in with each other. Hey, how's your business doing? How's my business doing? How, that kind of thing. And Ben is a big note taker. So he started asking me what I've been doing. And I had mentioned to him, I've been working with a coach. And one of the reasons that I was working with a coach is because I felt like my coaching was getting a little staid and boring. And if I was feeling that as a coach, then I was positive that my clients might be feeling the same thing as well. I said, so I hired a coach to simply just help me to shake shit up. And so we're in the conversation, and about 15 minutes later, Ben goes, you said something a little while ago about shake shit up. And from there, we just started riffing, and it took off, and it took off. And so he started talking to people about it. We created a series of small vignettes on LinkedIn that we just dropped our first 3 last week, and we just recorded some more yesterday. And it literally is in motion as to what it means. But here's what I can tell you. If you ask a client, how are you shaking shit up? You're going to get all kinds of different responses because, again, everybody is different. So Ben was telling me on our call yesterday, he said, well, I got with this group of people, and this one person said to me, he goes, well, it's not in my nature to shake shit up, right? And Ben was very astute in this when he said, our brains really aren't designed for great new things. Our brains are really designed to help make us feel safe. And when you say something to somebody like, how are you going to shake shit up? That could send them off in a whole different direction. So what I'm learning through this, and by the way, I'm using this with every single one of my clients, is what does it mean to everybody individually? Is it an action that you're taking? Or as Ben and I are learning, it actually starts as a mindset and could start internally. That shift into discomfort, right? So if you say shake shit up, someone might go, man, that's really uncomfortable for me to think about shaking shit up, right? But when you just hold the place for them to think about it and to process it, all of a sudden stuff starts evolving from it. So that was really the origin of Shake Shit Up. It's evolving. We're actually thinking of perhaps starting a podcast around it and talking a little bit more about shaking shit up. But I think right now we want to see where it goes. And I'm most interested to see how it goes with my clients because I'm a transformational leadership coach. So if it is helping to shift how they show up in their organizations, how they're working with their teams and organizations, that's going to be kind of the tell-all for me.
In on this shake shit up stuff. I think I'm in that era. And to me, it's more of an awakening than discomfort. So I think
Okay.
you're going to experience all ranges of the spectrum there. For me, an awakening. I think it's important. I'm in this era. It feels good to me. It feels exhilarating. And I love this idea too, because too often leaders play it safe. But the ones that are going to make the biggest impact are those who really dare to challenge the norms, disrupt the complacency, and really step into bold action.
How's awakening manifesting itself in you? Because there's an energy to you, the last couple, three times we've spoken that just is different. I can't put my hand on it, but it is just there's an energy to you that I sense. So what's awakening inside of you?
Yeah, I think it's a new season. I mean, I've done some cool stuff. I've joined a golf league, just to get out there and do fun stuff. I have some new clients that I'm working with that are inspiring. I went outside of the box and got tickets to the Final Four, the NCAA Final Four women's tournament here in Tampa. So I think I'm just feeling a lighter load on my shoulders and really just experiencing great personal transformation and growth. And I just am loving what I'm doing.
You know what I've noticed when that happens, it then transfers into our clients, right? Because if I'm picking up on that energy, your clients are absolutely picking up on that energy. My coach said something to me a while ago that really stuck with me. I was a little taken back by it. He goes, the reason your clients hire you is because they see something in you that they want. And I'm not sure of that, but it just resonated with me, right? My client who's the very conservative, person says, Ron, he goes, I'm not into that touchy-feely stuff. I said, well, we've been working together now for 2 years. I said, there must be something going on, right? And he shows up now differently than he did, 2 years ago. So I'm betting your clients are really seeing that in you and sensing that in you.
Thank you. That's so kind of you. And I think too, positive intelligence. I mean, I'm a positive intelligence coach, as are you. And each time I get to work with clients, I'm going through the program again and again to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So I measure myself over time where I think at the beginning and almost all of my life, I've been hyper rational, which we both know that means facts and data rule. But I put in a really intentional mindset that, yeah, I think that's really important for a lot of things. But what's also important is to, pull up my empathy skills and, to
Mm.
learn to be a little bit more empathetic and not just with others, but with myself. And I see that those transformative things are occurring within me. And maybe that's what you're seeing.
Love what you said about empathy for yourself. I find that in a lot of leaders that I coach, right? And how can you have empathy for others until you can begin to have empathy for yourself? And empathy's tough.
It is tough.
Empathy, I mean, there's some people that are naturally empathetic and others that aren't. And I don't think you can teach empathy. You learn to feel empathy by the work that you're doing and the work that we're doing. And when
Mhm.
that clicks, right, when you can really put yourself in somebody else's shoes and understand how they may be feeling, I think it's a game. I think it's a game changer. I think it's a game changer.
I think it has been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
So you've emphasized the importance of leaders connecting with their personal narratives. How does
Mm.
this authenticity influence organizational culture?
Well, the stories we tell ourselves always impact how we show up, whether you're a leader or not. And the personal narratives that a lot of us have are decades old, right? And they're so ingrained in us that they become the truth, whether it's the truth or not, right? So that's how the saboteurs developed. The lies that we tell ourselves. And I don't think that anybody can get to kind of where we are in life and experience what we've experienced without some of those narratives. So I'll give you an example for me and something that sat with me and impacted me for decades. When I was 19 years old, I was really, really struggling, right? My parents had gone through a divorce. I dropped out of college. I was using drugs. It was not a good situation. And my father's business partner said to him, he goes, Bob, Ronnie is never going to amount to anything. And my father told me that. However, he never stood in and had my back with that. So I hear this as a 19-year-old who's going through all the crap that young people go through. And it sits with me that I'm not good enough, that I'm never going to be good enough. So how did this show up for me as a young adult, a more mature adult? Here's what I did. I had to overcompensate. So I always felt like I had to prove myself right at all costs. I sought validation wherever I could. Sometimes that wasn't a very good thing. I was defensive against any kind of criticism that showed up. And I became very self-absorbed. So it wasn't until I kind of went through my own personal transformation and hit a place that, was really bad in my life that I really gave myself permission to rewrite my story. And I think that's where the power in this comes, in the ability to rewrite the narrative. And so, again, I see this in leaders all the time. So leaders model this. So I have a client, a powerful CEO in an organization, and I noticed something that showed up in our work together over an extended period of time. And what showed up was, this is how I was brought up. This is how I was brought up. Right? And he kept falling back on that, right? And it was something that happened with his father. And I'll never forget one day, I just simply asked him, what would it look like if you could rewrite your story? And it was like this look came on his face, and he never even thought about it. So over our next few sessions, we really worked on that and separating who he was now from the story that was in his head. And I'll never forget, it was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, he came back to me and he said that one of the people that he worked with, right, that he had been in conflict with, part of his issues, but he was constantly in conflict with people he worked with, said to him how much they had noticed he had changed.
Powerful.
Right? So it's giving yourself permission, but a lot of it is back, again, bringing this full circle to the stories we tell ourselves, the justification lies that our saboteurs tell us that we believe are our truths, when in reality, they don't have to be our
That's right.
truths, right? So none of this is done in isolation. All of this work that we do, shaking shit up, positive intelligence, it all rolls into one. None of this is mutually exclusive of each other.
I agree. That's really powerful. I'm going to skip ahead a minute here because we're going to be aware of time. So, what are 5 actionable steps that leaders can implement this week to invigorate their teams and drive positive change?
So, I think 1, find someone in your network, jump on a call with them, tell them what you're up to, just like Ben and I did. Allow the energy and what Ben calls is the beat to come to you. Don't force anything. Just show up real, authentic. Hey, wanted to connect with you, wanted to check in with you, find out what you're up to. From that, find an interesting nugget that you can pull from the call. In the case of Ben and I, it was shake shit up. Yours might be another nugget. Book a follow-up call to keep that conversation going. And then number 5, find the action or 2 that keeps the conversation continually to build and create some accountability around that. And I think those are 5 very definitive actions that any leader can do, or that anybody can do, to kind of move stuff forward.
I love these practical insights, really. Implementing even a couple of these steps can really create immediate momentum and set the stage for lasting transformation.
And isn't that what we're shooting for as coaches, is sustainability in the work that we do?
Yeah,
we're building tool belts for people to use that they can, continue to grow from.
Isn't that interesting that we're helping others build toolkits and ours continue to grow as well?
That's the magic, right?
That is the magic. Yeah, we've been having some conversations recently about this new transformational impact of a workshop that you've designed. So that it's really helping leaders break out of old patterns, serve more boldly, Can you share how this program is transforming leaders and what are outcomes that participants can expect?
Yeah, so I love that, get to leave old patterns, right? So this is really very basic from my chair, but the impact can be felt immediately. So what these experiential workshops focus on are three underused or not fully understood, what I call basic leadership skills that transcend an entire organization, right? So it just is not at senior leadership, it works throughout the entire organization. And those skills are active listening, powerful questions, and acknowledgement. And so when we do these workshops and really focus on these, they all build on each other. So when you're really, really practicing active listening, and that's a big term and you hear it all the time, but we get very, very specific in the workshop around the three types of active listening. Active listening spurs curiosity because you're not listening to solve a problem, right? You're listening to get more information. So for leaders and anyone within an organization, how powerful is that? Because you're opening yourself up to learn differently, to hear differently, to communicate differently. And then the third pillar of this is acknowledgement. People want to be heard, right? And it's a big component of the work we do in positive intelligence, right? Acknowledging what somebody says. How many times have you heard this? And I heard this the other day in this workshop that I was doing. I did an abbreviated version of it, and someone said, "I just never feel heard," right? I mean, there it is. So how do you learn to acknowledge people? Right. And what's great about this, in fact, somebody asked me the first time we did this, one of the questions I ask is, what would you like to get out of this? And their response was, I'd like to have practical things that I can immediately take back and use. And that's what we do. We give them practical things, but then to practice on. But to your point about the accountability is then we have to practice it because it's building a muscle. Right? It's building a new muscle, a new way of learning, a new way of asking questions. So to me, that's really where the magic in all of this is. And people got to show up ready to play, ready to fail, ready to be vulnerable. But if they do, willingness, intention, and action, I've just seen the impact resonate through organizations.
That's so fascinating because I've actually had the privy of seeing and previewing this workshop that you've developed. I was sharing with you a little earlier today about an experience that I had on Monday of this week of one of the parts of your workshop that I was actively engaged with in a session that lasted really 15 minutes, just positive yes and it just was just absolutely transformational. So is this a half a day workshop, a full day workshop?
Yeah, it's a half a day workshop, ideally anywhere between 14 and 20 people is actually kind of the ideal. I find the most effective when they're done in person, and I'm a huge in person. I like to facilitate that way, though we do them on Zoom. But it's a half a day workshop, and it's designed for all levels of an organization.
Workshops that really encourage real transformation, they don't just teach concepts. They push leaders to take immediate action, which this workshop does. I love seeing how structured, immersive experiences like yours give leaders the confidence to shake things up, to shake shit up.
And they're modeling, and they're
Never
modeling.
imagined.
Exactly.
Thanks for that. So we're just going to close here in a few minutes. So, I always, this season anyways, I've been asking each of my guests a question at the end, just to share what might be on your heart today and what you think the world needs to hear.
Oof, boy, that is a powerful question, Meri. So I think I have to start that by just kind of put my hand on my heart and asking my heart what it's saying to me right now. And, what's coming up for me is don't deny or push aside what you're feeling today in this moment, because there's a lot of mixed feelings as to what is happening all around us in the world today. So don't deny it. It's okay to name it or call it out for whatever it is. And then at the same time, acknowledge what's true for you, even if that's really uncomfortable. And then lastly, move. Put your body in, because that to me helps to keep clarity.
That's a mic drop right there. I've been moving a lot too, so I've been exercising a minimum of 50 minutes every day. And I think that might be having an impact on things too.
Yep. Yep. So that's my answer to that.
Well, that wraps up another invigorating episode of Talent Talk and Strategy Stroll. A heartfelt thank you to you, Ron, for sharing your expertise on transformative leadership. If you found value in today's discussion, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your network. You can connect with Ron on LinkedIn or explore his offerings at Peak, that's PIQ Coaching and Strategy Group. For more insights and resources, you can visit Meritas Advisory Group. At Meritas, we empower leaders, teams, and organizations to thrive by optimizing talent and fostering resilient, high-performing teams and cultures. Ready to elevate your strategy? Let's connect. Stay tuned for more engaging conversations ahead. Until next time, keep strategizing, keep growing, and keep strolling forward. Take good care.